Good afternoon. My name is Joe Garza, Chief of Police for the City of Reedley, and I thank you all for being here this afternoon to get an update on our investigation, homicide investigation that occurred on Saturday, January 6th. So just to kind of give you a quick recap of what occurred is on January 6th, about 9 o'clock in the morning, officers from the Reedley Police Department were dispatched to a residence in the 1100 block of South Church for what was being initially reported as a burglary that had occurred. When our officers arrived on scene, they began a search of the property. They identified several areas of the residence that led them to believe that there was a burglary that had occurred, and so they continued their investigation. During that investigation and search of the residence, they did locate two people that were deceased. These two people were located in the backyard of the residence. At that time, our investigators were contacted, our criminal investigators from the police department, along with our crime scene investigators, and also we requested the assistance of the Fresno County Sheriff's Department's crime scene lab as well to come out and to assist in this investigation. As we were processing the scene for any evidence, we located a third body that was there on the property. The two first bodies that were located, one was initially identified as an elderly white male adult. That person has now officially been confirmed as Billy Bonds. He is 81 and a resident of Reedley. The second person that was located initially was described as a Hispanic female adult, and that female adult has now been officially identified as Guadalupe Bonds, 44, that was living at that residence also. The third victim that was located at that residence, we believe we know who that person is. However, they have not been officially identified, so we will be withholding that information until further notice, until we have been officially notified by the Fresno Coroner's Office, and that we've had ample opportunity to notify family if necessary. During the investigation, officers did see signs of foul play, that were injuries that were consistent with foul play on the bodies of the victims. At this point, we are not releasing the actual cause of death and any injuries that were sustained by the victims, because we are still waiting for the coroner's office to have an opportunity to examine the bodies and be able to provide us with that information so we can accurately report that out. It is anticipated that Thursday will be the date that the autopsy will be conducted. So we will be holding off until then. The fourth person who has not been contacted or has been found yet is a Matthew Bonds. He's in his mid-30s. He was living at that residence, and we have not been able to contact. And I am sorry, he is in his mid-40s. 43-year-old Matthew Bonds. His whereabouts are unknown at this time. I know the family members have been trying to reach out to them. Our investigators have been trying to reach out to him, but yet his whereabouts are unknown. Are there any questions that I may answer?
Yeah, at this point, do we have any sort of suspect that you're looking into, any person of interest? Is the missing Matthew Bonds a person of interest?
At this point, we do not have any suspects identified, nor have we identified any persons of interest at this time. Matthew Bonds is still considered just a missing because of his residency and the acts that occurred there. I am in fear for his safety, but he is just listed at this point as just a missing.
Any specific weapons that were used?
The cause of death were caused. We're not 100% sure on what actually caused it, but we do know that there were weapons involved.
Specific
firearms specifically.
And the family did tell us that the additional third victim was also found in the backyard. Can you explain to us a little bit more about why maybe that body might have been missed the first time investigators went through the crime scene?
Initially, when the officers went they focused because it was an initial burglary, so we were investigating a burglary, not necessarily a homicide. So as the officers were searching, they did see a tarp that was in the back, and they did locate the two initial bodies. And then again, as the search continued, into the backyard, because now that became a focus of our attention as well, not just the interior of the residence. Then we found the third body.
Chief, initially this was, thought of as being a burglary. At this point, with the investigation going on, with the information you have now, does it still look like there were signs of forced injury, that this was somebody who might have known their way around the house, or does it look like it was more so random?
No, this is we are investigating this as a burglary as well. Obviously, that is the secondary issue in all this, but that ties into the homicides as well. So we are investigating them all together to be able to tie all the pieces together.
And I believe on Saturday when this was first happening, you mentioned something in your press release or in the interviews about a safe, guns, stuff like that. Did that look like it was broken into, or somebody might have had the combination to get in?
At this time, what I'm releasing and what I'm going to be putting out to the community or to the press is that the safe was opened, and that the safe was what we believe to have contained various firearms was empty when we came on scene.
Can you confirm if any money was stolen from
That we don't know. We're assuming that there was money and other property that was taken.
Was the third body found in a hole, you said, with the tarp over it?
No, that the two initial bodies that we found, the two initial victims that we found, were found underneath a tarp. The third body was not underneath that tarp.
There were reports of someone possibly on the roof the morning of. Are you aware of that, or who that person might have been?
We are aware of that. That information did come to us initially when we were going there on the burglary report, and so that is somebody that we're looking for, whether they're related or just happen to be in the area. We're not really sure what their purpose was there, so we are trying to determine that person as well.
Do you have any additional information about Matthew Bonds that could help the public with identifying him, such as a vehicle that he might be using?
We are not familiar with any or aware of any vehicles that he may be with. We did release a photograph of Matthew to the media over yesterday, and so that is the information that we have at this point. Like I said, we are depending on our community and family to, if they do find him or see him, to please contact us immediately.
Is he likely to be in Reedley? Is there any areas he might frequent that the family is looking about?
We are searching the different areas that the family has told us that he could frequent, and all those areas have been searched and canvassed, and we have not been able to locate him at those areas.
Are any of the vehicles missing from that home?
Not that I'm aware of. Any other questions? And folks, and again, thank you very much.